Since I retired, the game of basketball has went to a whole different space, and it's, to me, it's now like a country club. These kids are book times, in and out, daily, working on their skill set.
Back in the day, it was just, hey man, go get some shots up, go play 5-on-5, call it a day. Now, guys are learning before they even get to a training camp or summer league.
Everybody have these ideas of what AAU basketball has become. Tell us what you see, because you out there.
It's a damn madhouse.
Our kids here in the United States of America are 10 times as better as any kid in the world.
Skill level has gone this way. At the end of the day, you're still playing the team game.
It's hard to be a superstar in this league and you ain't winning.
Shea is a superstar because he got his team in the interviews and they show up together. Everything about him is stardom.
To me, respect is when I can look at you eye to eye. When Kobe started looking me in my eye, now you respect me as a player. At first, like, you young boy, I ain't looking at you in your eye. But now I'm looking in your eye because now it's like, oh, if I don't, it's a killer in there.
You got an access card, right?
Hey, boy, listen, my access card, gold in the mud. Yo, welcome to a Timeout. I'm your host, Dwyane Wade.
I'm saying timeout. I'm just going by what you just did. Timeout. I'm just.
Let's get a full timeout.
Hey, listen, when you're the man who working the cameras and stuff, you can't be calling timeouts when I'm speaking.
You're right.
Because I'm thinking something wrong with the camera.
Right? My fault. You know what? I distracted you. My bad.
But you know what? I got to do better than that. I'm used to shooting free throws with people yelling at me, talking about my mama and all that. My bad. I got to do better than that.
I was in the arena too.
All right. Well, listen. Welcome to a Timeout.
Yeah.
I'm your host, Dwyane Wade. Excited for this conversation. As always, let me introduce our hosts. First and foremost, Wright, aka Free Wright.
Free Wright.
Free Wright segment today. We got a cool Free Wright segment, but we'll get back to that. Coach Johnson, aka Chris Johnson.
Coach in the building.
Yeah. And Bob Metellus, aka Bob.
Just Bob.
Fellas, welcome back to the Timeout.
Just Bob.
Sir.
What y'all drinking over there? What y'all got going on? Y'all got some grown man drinks over there.
Maybe something.
Took care of us.
Yeah, this is nice. I don't know what it is. It's good though.
I feel like some tequila and soda.
All I know, we got.
D. Wright be sweating.
Nah, buddy set me up with the with the Cuban beans in the coffee machine.
D. Wright was like, man, is it hot?
Yo, we doing a little market research on some coffee beans, and you were one of our,
Test
one of the test dogs, and
Y'all
you
did me dirty.
He doesn't like dark roast.
We know that now. We know that now. My man almost went to the hospital.
What that Vince McMahon mean?
Bro, I almost got the FedEx truck to take you to the hospital.
Hey, it got bad in here.
Take him. One of our new segments, one of my favorite segments, is the Free Wright segment. This is our opportunity when brands and individuals send us free things, we get a chance to talk about it right here in this segment on this show. Mm-hmm. And so today, our Free Wright segment actually comes from the brand called Li-Ning.
Okay.
AKA Wave Wade.
Okay.
They sent a couple things for us to be able to experience. And so can you guys bring it out, please, and we can talk more about it.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So everybody, welcome Ross from Kicks Crew up in here.
What up, Ross?
What's up, Ross?
Yes, sir, Ross. What it do, man? Appreciate you, my boy.
Yeah.
I love gifts,
dog.
We love gifts, man.
Appreciate it.
Say what's up to my camera right here, man. Look at everybody. Say, Ross. Show them the Kicks Crew logo.
Yeah,
we see it.
Yes. All right, so we have obviously a partnership. I have a partnership in China with Li-Ning. 5 years ago, I signed my first athlete. His name is D'Angelo Russell. You guys know him as Ice in His Veins. You guys know him as Deloading. He has come out with his first signature shoe. It hasn't dropped yet. It will be dropping soon. Shout out to Ross and Kicks Crew. We've been doing some cool things, trying to activate Wave Wade a little bit more in the U.S. And so we got some really cool ideas and cool plans to bring that partnership to life. You guys are going to see that here on the Wide Network real soon. Nice. But this is the Free Wright segment, man. I wanted you guys to be the first ones to get a pair of D-Lo new shoes. Bring them out. You got colorways. I don't know what type of colorways y'all got. This right here is one of the main colorways. It's called Canvas. It was created by D-Lo's son. That's like a painting or whatever the case that the young boys do, and it's called Canvas right here. So the D-Lo one.
Okay.
Everybody, right here in the hand.
Man, listen, I'm thinking
Talk to
about
me. What's your first
I'm thinking
impressions of
about
the
my
D-Lo
daughter.
one?
Well, my first
Volleyball.
question is, when you signed me to the brand, what the hell was I? Since D-Lo, the first athlete.
Yo, you know what? I was
With
gonna
his
say
own
something.
Oh, first athlete with a signature shoe.
With his own signature shoe.
But
I misspoke.
hey, but to answer your question, this is pretty fire. I can't even lie.
Bro,
Hey, let's talk about the detail. Let's talk about the box first and foremost.
You know, I love
the paper in the
because
box.
I'm keeping the box. I'm one of them people
look
who
at the
keeping this
paper.
box. I'm not getting rid
Yeah.
of it. I'm gonna actually use this to put something in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no doubt.
You know
I
what?
usually don't keep my box, but this is a fire box.
I'm gonna tell you what. You know what I love? This is something that's cool because it has, obviously the ice in my veins. But this is something for those who want to get into branding. You see, when you look at this, you just look like a D, but then they got this
Loading.
and then you have the L.
Yeah. That's a fire logo.
That's
Bro,
killer.
but it's simple,
fire logo,
but it's
D-Lo.
fire.
I like that.
This is a class in branding. I love that. I think this is dope.
Bro, look at the paper on the inside. It says,
You got listen.
great
One
things
thing
come
about the brand, man, is it's
from
gonna be
hands.
detailed.
Yeah.
Great things come from hard work, perseverance, and no excuse.
But I gotta show love because look. So you know what? I remember when these came out.
That was dope too.
See the bottom?
Got the face on it.
Yeah,
You got
so
the
you
face.
know
You
what?
know I'm
This is a
rocking.
really cool moment for me, man, as an athlete
Ooh, that's nice.
who had an
Ooh.
opportunity to be with the Jordan brand.
I like the fun of that.
I remember getting my first signature shoe with Jordan. And, man, as hoopers, our goal is to one day, man, be able to have our own shoe and see kids rocking it and have our family rocking it. And so when I got a chance to start my own brand, I wanted to eventually have athletes that could have that same experience. And so D-Lo being the first athlete that I signed out of so many that came before him, to be the first one to get his own signature shoe with my logo attached to it.
Right there.
It's pretty
dope.
cool,
That
man.
is
So he
fire,
has
though.
this logo, D-Lo, loading, and then you got the Wade logo as well. So I'm really excited about this. And huge fan of D-Lo, huge fan of what he's helping the brand continue to do in Asia. But this is a fire shoe right here.
It
Lo.
is, man.
I'm
I might even go to back to the rec league.
Look at me, I'm telling you.
He said back to the regular.
I gotta go back to the rec
I'm
league.
gonna have these on
Get
tomorrow.
get another chip.
for pre-draft.
Yeah, I was just in Devin closet trying to steal some of his shoes, and none of them worked. So I appreciate this right
The
here.
goal is, man,
at that right
D-Lo also, too, right here, he got some lifestyles right here that Chris be rocking, some time that I'll be rocking. These is D-Lo lifestyle shoes as well. So real soon, fellas, I'm going to make sure that
the logo.
Ross is going to make sure from Kicks Crew that we out here and we rocking all the
Pushing
ways
the
that's coming
brand,
out. We
baby.
pushing the
Facts.
brand.
No, we
We got
don't.
some cool things we doing, man. We got some opportunities to really take our show to other places. And one of the places we're going to take it is the Fanatics Fest, where we're going to partner up with Kicks Crew and partner up with D-Lo as well. Maybe put his podcast with our podcast. Have some real hoop conversations.
like that.
Turn it up.
Continue to keep growing the brand, man. Really excited for D-Lo.
Backyard.
Yeah, the backyard.
But real
I've been
quick
watching
though,
D-Lo's.
but real quick though, Chris, you went to China lately? Because I don't know how you got them before.
Timeout.
Listen,
Timeout.
bro.
Number one,
Bruh,
let's get this
but
started.
how?
Because every day, if you're
Talk to
not
him.
watching my
to
Instagram,
him.
I'm pushing my brother brand.
You an
are.
influencer for the
You
brand.
are definitely an influence.
But it's so dope because I'm sorted in a way that ain't nobody got it. So I feel exclusive. When I walk in, people ask, what's on your feet?
Those are fire.
Like these on my
These
feet.
tough.
I'm looking at you.
Yo, D-Lo,
I'm
these
looking at
tough. These tough. I can't wait to work out these because I ain't getting on the
I'm
court.
working out in these.
Hey, look, I got to put my shoes on in the workout room, baby. I'll be like, all right.
Rec league, here I come.
Oh, man.
So yeah, bro, we want to continue to do more of this. Everybody
Shout out
continue
to
to make sure
Li-Ning.
y'all send out stuff.
Send
Shout
it.
out to
Send it.
Li-Ning, shout out to
Li-Ning.
Webway, shout out to D-Lo, shout out to Kicks Crew. Man, we athletes. We love sneakers on this show, and so get some of them Nikes off y'all feet, some of them Jordans y'all be wearing.
Telling
I
you
got
something.
them waves on.
I got the
Get
waves.
them
I
waves
appreciate
on.
y'all putting
Get
them on,
your
dog.
waves on.
Get your waves on. Get your waves up.
Yes, sir.
Kenny, listen, don't take my box and put it nowhere. I'm wearing them tomorrow.
Appreciate you,
On
sir,
the
Kenny.
court.
Hey, yo, so before we get into the real conversation about hoop, how do you be getting all this gear, though, that everybody don't be getting? Who's your contact and connect?
I be in China.
Time out. I've been to China so many times, but when I go to China with my brother, it's different. And when you're there, it's always about relationships.
All right.
So, more importantly, the most important thing that I've learned is having access.
Well,
You got an
listen,
access card, right?
Hey, boy, listen, my access card, gold in a mug.
Exactly. So in order to actually take advantage of relationships that I built, he built, you keep building relationships. So in order for us to take the brand that, when me and my brother on flights and we traveling, we're talking about pushing his brand to a level that takes him to where he wants to go. And when you got a family and you got a group of people around you, why am I rocking other people's stuff?
Nice.
Why am I not on board and all in deck for my brother?
I get it.
So when I'm in basketball, I'm a cornerstone. So every day, you're gonna see Way of Ways.
But the question
the
is,
homies.
But the question is,
I'm not giving up my
how
connect.
did you get to that?
Yeah, hey, Bob.
He kept that connect tight, didn't he?
I'm not giving up. I'm not giving up my connect because I walk in and D looking at me like,
I just looked at
Bro, I
him
had
like,
to try and be like, bro, I don't even have that. How you get that? Where you get that? And I didn't know you was getting the D-Lo lifestyle. I thought, dang,
But
bro, I
watch
can't
this.
have nothing.
nothing.
So we went over to run the DBA, which is the Dwyane Wade Basketball Academy, which me and my brother, we working. My brother gave us a lot of money at his stores. So people that don't know, just because it
Hey,
ain't
man, don't be
here,
talking about that so people can start calling me thinking I got money. I ain't got none. I'm a retired athlete. It's hard out here for a pimp.
but he set us up in a way to where I took all my coaches, took everybody with me, and it's too much to spend. So when people were going that way, I went that way.
You zig when they zag.
Yeah, so
I
everybody was
zig
going to the young, cool, what they felt was like the more hip stuff, and he went to the
I'm in the
he went to the
1990s.
1990s
No, I
side.
saw when he went
to
there.
the lifestyle, the Li-Ning lifestyle golf
D,
side.
that was a year and a half ago.
And he's still getting
but I
stuff.
was telling D, see, Chris guy, who's this guy? Christmas.
That's new. Look, that ain't a year and a half ago.
No, that ain't come out a year and a half ago.
It ain't even out.
So you got a credit at the store still, and they just sending you shit? There's something going on, Bob. I'm waiting for him to answer the damn question.
I grew up in the hood. So this is what you do when you're in the hood, right? You don't open all your Christmas gifts at once.
Okay.
You spread them out.
You spread them out.
Yeah.
So
Right, I give you that.
when I came back with all these boxes of stuff, I said, this is for the spring.
Okay.
This is for the summer.
Yeah.
This is for the winter.
Didn't the shoes just come out?
Don't worry about that, Bob. Don't worry
Hey,
about
listen,
that,
long
Bob.
story short, my brother got a
Don't worry
connect.
about
Hey, you gotta
that,
do
Bob.
that.
It's
I'm
all
with
good.
that. I'm good with that.
Listen,
I'm good with
the
that.
one thing, and this is a great transition once again, the one thing, and this is why it's very important that not only do your product look good, but you have, other athletes and other influencers in your brand, so you can continue to carry your brand.
Yeah.
I don't play basketball no more. I have a legacy, obviously, that we could tell stories from and silhouettes of shoes, but you got to continue to have the brand going. And so I'm really, really proud of this moment with D-Lo and the brand for also to, continue to make sure that we're here. This is our 13th year as a brand, and we're still here. And it could have easily closed a long time ago. So shout out to the brand. But the transition is the season that we're in right now. We're in AAU season. We're talking about the youth. We're talking about making sure that this brand continue to go. It has to go with the youth. And right now, D, right, like I said, welcome back. You just got back off the road
Yes, sir.
from what's going on out in the AAU. Tell us what's going on in the circuit out there. Everybody have these ideas of what AAU basketball has become. Tell us what you see, because you out there.
It's a damn madhouse. Every damn parent think they know everything. All right, that's what's going on out
Madhouse.
there. More parents talking like they played 10 years in the league, man. But nah. I'm with a great organization. That's Team Why Not. We on the EYBL circuit. And for the people that don't know, that's Russell Westbrook's program. And Russell and I played high school basketball together when I was a senior. Russell's a freshman. And the director of our program is Reggie Morris, who was my high school coach. Now my son's high school coach. So we had a great weekend in Phoenix. We don't get blessed often with a session that's on the West Coast, so it was a nice quick trip.
Yeah.
Went down there, went 3-0. Our 16s who won it last year as 15U, they did amazing and went 3-0 as well. And next session is in Memphis in 2 weeks. But it's back to the grind. It's back to helping the next generation of kids accomplish a dream that I was able to accomplish. So my coach really uses me to motivate the kids and just bring the best out of them and just give them a different voice. So it's always cool when the summer comes, because I always tell everybody I'm a part-time coach.
Yeah.
Only coach in the summer. I give a lot of credit to the coaches that coach in the high school year and in the summer, because it's just so much. It's a lot. True. So it was a great first session. I'm looking forward to Memphis and continue to get better and build.
People always talk about American basketball. right? We always comparing American basketball to European basketball and talk about how European players are more skilled. I'm going against the grain on that. American players are more skilled. They train all week. Most players are training, practice, training, then they play all weekend. They're talking about in Europe how they practice, team practice. But team practices are different than individual practice when you're putting in. Our players in today's game in AAU are so skilled, and it's driving the level of what kind of skill level set that you can have. So when we think you've seen something different, it's another guy that has created something different.
Well, basketball has become a country club finally, right? Like we've watched this in tennis, we've watched this in golf, we've watched this in other sports where they have country clubs, where they have kids from a certain age that has been getting this kind of tutelage and this training from some of the best coaches. Basketball was never like that. I came into the league hooping in the backyard or hooping in the playground. Like we didn't have coaches in that aspect. Now you're having training from a very young age. I mean, Xavier's 11. He's been training for 4 years.
4 years,
from 7 years old. And so you have this now country club kind of atmosphere that's now entered basketball. And so i.e. the skill level, because now you have some of the best minds of the game. Teaching skill. This never was something that was taught in our game. It was not skill. It was like people used to go to Hakeem to learn how to do the dream shake.
Come on now.
Can you teach me that post move?
I can do that in the mirror. Come on, man. Loose shoulders, baby.
So you are obviously you are a part of this. Yeah, it's a country club now. When I'm around and I'm watching these kids come in and out, when I get to come to the gym, I'm like, oh man, I feel like this is not the game of basketball I grew up on. And so yes, players from overseas has been viewed as more skilled because they were more skilled because this is how their stuff has been going, where they've been working on skill and practice more so than playing. Now in America, now it's changed. Since I retired, the game of basketball has went to a whole different space, and it's like a country club. These kids are book times in and out daily, working on their skill set.
I travel, and we travel with basketball everywhere. You're talking about every country. And our kids here in the United States of America are 10 times as better as any kid in the world. Now, what happens in the world is they get one good one, and we compare that one good one to all of ours.
Yeah, no doubt.
Just the one good one come out.
I do have a devil's advocate point to ask.
Okay.
You have I agree with you on the skill. That's you can see it. There's no denying that. But I feel as a person, I guess, who's translated a couple, I'm gonna show my age a little bit, a couple generations.
Bro, your beard's showing your age, brother. You worry about what you're doing.
Distinguished.
But you look at the fact that, let's say, and I'm using you guys and myself, who's played a lot of this hooping on the park.
Where you going, bro? You leaving?
Can we get a timeout, please? Timeout.
But at the end of the day, as far as
ain't no way in hell you about to sit here and compare yourself to what me and D-Wright went. One training camp reminded me your knees back, neck would have been broke. Don't you ever compare your regular league.
But I'm going even before that. When you was in high school, when you was a little young buck.
Let me calm down.
As you were playing, you played a lot of just hoops.
Yeah, we hooped
5-on-5, 3-on-3s, 5-on-5, hustle 21, all those kind of games. You don't see that as much.
No.
They hooping.
Right. So the thing is, my question is, I agree the skill level is gone this way. But at the end of the day, you're still playing the team game. And you're trying to figure out how to as an old head watching these young guys play, I feel like when I watch it now, as much as skill as I see, I'm seeing skills that I have never seen before. But I'm looking at the fact that I feel like on the team game, and you guys can talk about it a little bit more specifically, and you can, as a coach, how different is it from like when you came up to what you see now as far as like how to create, how to like be able to just play free? You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes when you can almost get too much skill and you play with just, I got to get into my skill back.
Like even in video game, right? You can pick up like all of these like weapons.
Right.
So there's a difference from the hard up and the hard down. It's the same with understanding how to use your weapons and when to use it. You take a guy like Steph that is highly skilled.
Right.
He can have the basketball, he can play without the basketball, he can beat you by screening. He understands how to use all of his weapons. When today's game has changed in a way that people don't hoop on concrete no more. That doesn't mean these kids are not hooping. They practicing, they got organization. Where I charge getting kids to understand the team concept is the coaches, right? This is where coaches are very important in the community from a youth standpoint.
I agree.
Because the coaches that are teaching these kids their responsibility is to be able to get them to understand the team concept.
Yeah, and how to use their
And how to
weapons
use their
within the
weapons
team
within the
concept. That's
team
why you
concept.
ain't coach.
Exactly.
Right? We talked about coaches and what to look for. And it's like you said, you want them to have a whole bag of weapons of skill. But you also got to be able to bring them together and teach them how to use that skill in a team game. Let me think about it. Most of the time, you don't really get to really learn how to play team sports, really, unless you go to an amazing high school that has a great coach and a great tradition, or once you get to college and the pros. When you growing up, it's all, I'm out here to get mine. Yeah. So it's only a certain time. And when you get to that point, if you're not running to good coaches, people who really want to take time and really focus on the detail and keep you and hold you accountable, or people who are just, this is my third job, I'm just doing this and I'm trying to get home to my kids, like, what coach are you having?
Right.
And so it takes a long time for them to even learn how to play within the team atmosphere. But right now, please get the skill. And then give me a coach that can help take these weapons and now show me how to utilize them to play with D. Wright, to play with Bob, and to play with Chris. But please give me all the weapons.
Yeah, I think what I see most of the time on a circuit is some of the most skilled players. You know, you got guys 6'9", 6'10", able to handle the ball, shoot the ball. But I think what they fail to do is not be robotic. A lot of times you could tell a guy works out a lot by how they do certain movements because they don't make certain reactions to a defender. You know, it's just like, oh, my trainer taught me how to do this, or a cone was right there, so I do it like this. You know, I think a lot of these kids need to start doing it with someone in front of them, actively defending them and, you know, making contact so they can make better decisions once, you know, I force you this way and that move don't work. So the counters and things like that. So I think the skill levels on the out of this world with these young kids, it's just they need more of a feel for the game. So they know how to play with better players.
But D-Right, that's the common separator.
Yep,
so
for
like,
sure.
When I'm working with our pre-draft guys right now, the difference of 1 degree separates everything, right? How does a guy with no athleticism, right? When I say no athleticism, like he don't jump the highest, he's not the quickest vertically. How does he dominate the game? Draymond Green. How does these guys that don't, is here. So everybody don't see the game the same. Their lenses are different.
It's here.
And it's here up. And so when you start to look at that, and this is how we get different players. So you can be skilled, but the way you see the game, the way you communicate the game, and the things that happen in the game away from the ball, it tells you everything about the player. So what we got to start coaching is the IQ and the EQ. So you see a lot of guys in AAU now have even emotional intelligence. Because so many people are telling you you're so good. And so it's not that these kids got, whether they trainers or who's teaching them, that they got a skill set. It's the application side and then understanding how the game works. The game is so fast that if you even dribbling 5, 6, 7 times, you really killed the momentum of players, you killed the momentum of the game, you know, and then what about defense? Then what about rebounding? Then what about how to get through a screen? What about how to defend a ball screen?
Think about all that you got to learn about the game.
So much to learn.
Do you understand that? Like you gotta get good at this.
That's what I'm doing right now in pre-draft. We're talking about shell drill.
I'm glad you said that because that was our next transition. We was going to go to pre-draft right now because we in it right now.
We're in it.
We in pre-draft right now. Now, most people out there don't know what pre-draft even looks like or what it really means. They just know guys come out of college and then eventually you see them at the draft. Talk to them about the process in between college to the NBA draft. what does that look like? Because you're every day right now,
Every
5
day,
days a week,
grinding.
pre-draft.
Yeah.
So for me, pre-draft is like getting your PhD. We have to educate the players, first of all, terminology. Understanding that you can't be in the paint but 2.9 seconds. And if I'm tagging and I'm chucking, that allows me to be in the paint. As long as the body's there and I can touch, I'm legal.
So y'all teaching in pre-draft. It's not just you get the ball, let's go do some drills on this.
D. Wright was one of my honorary coaches last week. Appreciate you coming out.
Yeah, thanks
He
for
got a
having me.
chance to see me with a different hat on.
Yeah.
What did you see, D?
I seen Ball Head Wednesday. I was able to
Ball Head Wednesday.
Yeah, Ball Head Wednesday. Thank you for allowing me to pull up. You know, I've been out of the game maybe 5-6 years now, and you lose that feeling.
Yeah.
And when I walked in the gym, I got that
got
feeling.
that feeling back.
Like I was about to hoop. The first thing I did, I walked to the rack, got the ball, I'm shooting and shit. You know what I'm saying? So it felt good being in there and watching these guys try to change their life, their family's life, and also getting a chance to see my guy coach and teach.
Yeah.
And it's so important, to teach these young fellas and give them an advantage because once you get into that league, it's going to be so many new words, it's going to be so many sets.
So many new terminologies.
There's going to be so many different places you got to be that you didn't know in college. So I think Chris is doing an amazing job with teaching these guys this at a young age. Me, and another funny story, I was just in Phoenix and ran into Jay Rich. His son is going through the process, and I brought up, the Ball Head Wednesday, me being able to see you go to work in the young fellas. I'm like, dude, I don't remember doing that stuff when I was coming out of school. The game has just gotten so much better and technical where back in the day it was just, hey, man, go get some shots up, go play 5-on-5, call it a day. Now, guys are learning before they even get to training camp or summer league. So it's making these guys even more smarter, higher IQ, and more ready.
Ball Head Wednesday.
Ball Head Wednesday.
And all of our guys that all around the world, they know about Ball Head Wednesday.
Everybody been in that gym know about Ball
Everybody
Head
better
Wednesday.
know about Ball Head Wednesday.
Ball Head Wednesday is crazy.
Listen, I'm trying to get everything off your head, even your eyebrows.
Trying to take your eyebrows off.
So even today, the guys was like, oh man, it's Ball Head. They thinking about Ball Head Wednesday.
Right.
So for me, when people look at Wednesday, you can look at it as midweek, like, man, we only got 2 more days left, or you can attack it. So I want to teach these young pros how to be pros. Conditioning, hard work, communication, sprinting, quick decisions. Bro, you're not going to have the ball but 2.3 seconds. You ain't going to be able to dribble. You got to cut, you got to move, you got to screen, you got to shoot this ball, you better fly around. You got to understand how the game is played. So for me, I'm doing what most people haven't done. I'm going right to you and saying, you're not going to be in the 10%. You're going to be 90%. So let's get great at the 90% of the game. So understanding how to get in the dunker and then be able to guard that guy in the dunker. Let's work closeouts. We ain't breaking out shuffling feet in the NBA. They firing you up. Boom, that's 3. You better close them.
Them shuffle feet closeout days is over.
Right.
Boom. So you got to run and glide. You got to get underneath his chin. And you got to have defensive awareness just to get on the floor. So when you're thinking about this, you're thinking about what's a drop? What's weak? Sending them weak. When do I cleanse myself? How do I blow up a screen? How do I jump switch a screen? That's my job. And so from that standpoint, when people come to me, it's probably the most offensive thing that someone can say to me. It's like, oh, Chris, the best trainer I've ever seen. I was like, oh, he don't even know who I am. I'm a coach. I'm a coach on the court.
And you're a doctor, bro.
I'm a doctor, too. You know why? Hold on, let's tell him why I'm a doctor. Why am I a doctor?
I do got a quick question.
What you about to say?
No, but listen. All right,
Johnson.
Stop. But so then I guess my next question then is in this. Do you think you have to do that more? Because that's great information, by the way. Do you think that has to happen now more because kids are not playing in college long term now? More?
It's just a different game. You need to know the terminology. Yeah, a lot of the
Did you learn that in Marquette?
I did. I had a great coach in Tom Crean. Shout out to Tom Crean.
Yeah.
But I also learned that I learned that in high school.
Okay.
With Jack Fitzgerald. See, now when I talk about great coaches, I had great coaches. So I learned it in high school. I learned it, and I continued to learn it more in college. Went to the next level, and then once I entered the draft, we talk about the draft process. Then I went to Tim Grover down at Hoops Gym.
Yeah.
And not only was I getting that information from Tim Grover, I was getting that information from Dwight Howard, Michael Finley. You know what I mean? All the vets that was there in Chicago that we was all hooping, I was getting that tutelage from them. So that, at the time, to be able to get into a hoops, everybody didn't have that opportunity to play with all these pros. Right? Everybody didn't have the opportunity to play with people who have seen the game, that's been around the game. A lot of guys were just getting ready the way they were getting ready. Right. Now, it's more exposure to it. So they are, the same way I was getting ready for the draft is the same way now every one of these kids get the opportunity because it's not just a Tim Grover no more. Now it's a Chris Johnson. I'm not gonna say other trainers because we on our show, but it's other trainers, other coaches out here. It wasn't that at first. It was Tim Grover. Right. And if you got a chance to get in there, then you had a jump up. So when I came into lead, I had already had a jump up on the lead. I already knew what training camp was gonna be like. We had already conditioned at this level and doing all these things. We already started talking about terminology. I already knew how to get my shot off versus taller guys because I learned it in the summer. If I came into the NBA just straight off college, I wouldn't have been able to be successful right away. I wouldn't even know how to get my shot off. The game is different. And so I had an opportunity during the draft process.
I didn't have none of that.
Right, he had none of that. So he coming in thinking that high school shit gonna work. That little prep school. No.
It don't work.
It don't work. So
that's
much
key.
needed.
And that's why I bring in honorary coaches. Like even today, FaceTime and CP3. I'm like, CP, I need you to talk to my point guards, right? So I'm calling people that I've worked with over the years. So my knowledge is not about me. So don't get it twisted. Being a great teacher is having access. Being a great teacher is exposing knowledge.
100%. I agree with
and I don't want them to see how I see the game. I want to know how they see the game. I want to have an impact. And you know how we were talking, high IQ in the huddle. High IQ. The best ability is availability. Exactly. So D. Wright talking about recovery, strength. We're trying to implement these guys into being a pro because the difference is only 1 degree. So when people are looking at me, I got an access card that most of you guys don't have. I pick up the phone and call HOF right here. Hey, I need you on the phone real quick. Hey, I need a quick FaceTime with the best point guards ever played. Rondo, I need you calling at this time. CP, I need you honorary.
I'm working out. You call me, FaceTime me in the morning. I'm in the gym. He like, hey, D, I'm in here with the young guys before we get going. What's up? Say something to them.
That's powerful, though. I'm not gonna lie.
That's the access card right there.
My access card. So when people are always saying me, it ain't me. I'm building a community of basketball players with knowledge. And basketball players with knowledge allows me to be great. Because I want the players to be able to perform. It ain't about me.
Yeah, like you've been there. You see the Matt Barnes come around. You see the Derek Fishers come around. Like you see pros.
Gilbert Arenas. I bring in everybody.
Obviously, D. Rice of the world. Myself. Like it's so many pros that are able to come and give game, and watch. And Chris put you right into play.
Let's go.
If you were in the court, you a pro. You got anything? He like, hey D, what's that? And now here we go. Now I'm sweating. I'm down there. You coach you too. You passing you. And so it's really good, man. I wanted you to share that real quick. Let's move on to our next topic. So one of our topics we touched on a little bit already, but let's get a little bit more into it. We talking about these young stars in the league, and we talking about we want to call them old stars, but the stars before the young stars.
OGs,
the OGs, triple OGs.
Old dogs.
What are you guys seeing from the standpoint of what we talk about seeing is, hey, old guys, appreciate you guys for holding up the league and getting into this place. But it's time for y'all to go home. Do y'all like what y'all seeing out of the young stars and the way that they're now taking the baton and saying, hey,
about damn time. About damn time. I think, at least for me, I come from that era where you had obviously Jordan was doing this thing, and you have like that era with Jordan and the Knicks and all that, and Reggie Miller, Clyde Drexler. That you got. Allen Iverson comes in. And then he comes and shakes up everything. And then got Grant, Penny. Like you just saw it happening. These guys right now, these old heads had it for a very long time. Because you never thought the next group was coming in.
Yep, no doubt.
You like when they coming, KD, Bron, Steph, they've been at the top.
Chris has been playing for 20 years.
They've been at the top for a very long time.
Very long time. And so to see now it makes my heart happy to see, like, all right, about damn time. Because at least you know the game is going somewhere up.
Yeah, no doubt.
That's what I want to see. I want to see the game develop. I want to see the game grow. And I felt like, man, come on, if your best player, which he's still one of the best players, 40 plus years old, dominating like that, and just like, we still don't even know how to figure this out. We're seeing things we've never seen before. Now, mind you, he is an alien.
No, he's something else, bro.
You know what I'm saying?
He's special.
Wemby's an alien. Bron is something
Bro,
else.
he is something else. But the thing is to see that kind of stuff and to see just guys just, like, come on, Steph, you got Bron, you got KD, you got all these guys. You're like, damn, we've been talking for the last 10 years, 10, 12, 15 years.
That show you how great they are, though.
They are.
We can't take
But
away from their
the
greatness
thing is, now you
of
wait.
old head.
Right, but you wait to see who's coming in next. At least, even when Jordan was playing, you knew Adam was coming behind him.
No, we
all
got
these
the
guys.
young superstars, but you know, I'm gonna go with these old heads too, right? Because sustainability,
They doing
to be injury free, to keep your body up. You know this better than anything.
Yeah.
For these guys to play at that level,
Oh, it's incredible.
incredible.
it's next level. And the
incredible.
young guys, me being a spectator on the inside, I'm always spectating and evaluating. It's really hard to be one. He's a one. That shoe is huge. And I ain't even talking about on the court. When you don't walk in moody. You're not walking in unapproachable. You're not late. Like, let's not talk about,
Production.
come on now.
Yeah.
So when he's supposed to be at somewhere, he's going to be there 2 hours ahead.
True.
So when I'm looking at ones, I'm looking at it totally different than you. So when you're seeing the new guys hooping, they've been hooping. It's just now they're getting better teams around them. So you don't know if a young guy can hoop unless he got a supporting cast.
Big
So,
facts. Big facts.
You got to have a team.
You got to have a team around you.
So the guys that we watching that we yelling saying, okay, the young stars are coming on, their teams are really good and their coaches are really good.
Yeah, what I look at, I mean, 1,000%. What I look at is like small things, right? And so I don't know if you guys see, like, a lot of things go viral, but someone has sent it to me over and over again. It's just, they have these clips of me and Kobe playing against each other and how I elbowed Kobe. I take
Yeah,
him out
you
the
did.
air. He fucked me up, right? To me, when I first came in the league, that's how once you got the superstars to know you were there and to look you in the face and to respect you and what Ant doing right now with Bron, I'm here, I'm grabbing you, I'm chucking you, I ain't letting you go, I'm talking to you how Ja talked to him. Like, when they talk back, when they acknowledge you, when Kobe hit me in my shit, I was like, oh, he know I'm here. You know what I'm saying? Like, to me, like, what they're doing, like, when I see these young guys, when I see Shea, when I see all these young guys, I'm like, oh, they got the respect of the older guys that know that they there. And they, you know what I mean? It ain't like they ain't looking down. To me, respect is when I can look at you eye to eye. When Kobe start looking me in my eye, now you respect me as a player. At first, like, you young boy, I ain't looking at you in your eye. But now I'm looking in your eye because now it's like, oh, if I don't, like, it's a killer in there. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, now they looking in the eyes. Anthony Edwards looking Brown in the eyes.
Yeah.
Look at me.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Ja look like when they in that mode, look at me, I'm here. And so that when I see that, I'm like, popcorn. Young boys is finally getting to that place where they like, hey, once again, thank y'all. Thank y'all for getting us to these 4 years, $200 million. It's time for y'all to go. It's our show. And so it ain't, I mean, the guys still doing their thing now. Steph and Brown and them, they still doing their thing. Like, we still gonna talk about the greatness of the old heads, but the rise of the young guys and the confidence and the temperature they bringing into these games, you love to see that.
Yeah, I believe like the last few years of the draft, like these players have been in better situations. I feel like you just said, with the losing organizations and the losing teams, it's hard for you to kind of
See that player.
kind of grow. You think about it, you look back at the last few drafts of the top picks, a lot of those dudes either didn't pan out, they really wasn't superstars, they were like okay role players or injury. So I think a lot, that's why we didn't see a lot of the new guys from probably like 6-7 years ago really come up and be how like an Ant-Man is now, how LaMelo Ball is.
Darius Garland.
Darius Garland because of due to injury or just the organization and team not getting better. And it's hard to be a superstar in this league and you ain't winning. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I look at. So it is important to what organization you get to.
True.
You go into a Miami and right off the gate, they teaching them how to be a pro.
Mm-hmm.
And so you may be going into other organizations where you're not learning the habits of being a pro. You don't even know how to keep your body in order to be a pro. So you're going to see more superstars coming in, but to be a superstar, you got to hit every department. So when I'm watching how you do your interviews, Shea is a superstar because he got his team in the interviews and they show up together. So then you looking at the team, you look at Shea, and then you look at his swag, you look at him on a commercial, he's calm, he's relaxed, he's like everything about him is stardom.
This transition to our last point is the superstars, and how you become superstars is how many times you're on TV, how many people are exposed to you. And so, one of the things right now is we know as we get to the end of the season, they're opening up where now it's not just the ESPNs of the world and even TNT. Now you got NBC coming back in, you got Amazon coming back in, you open up a whole streaming platform, and now the game, obviously, it goes even more global. And it becomes an opportunity for even more people to be able to be exposed to the game of basketball. How do you guys, what's your ideas about, kind of what the NBA has done? Obviously getting billions of dollars from these networks is something that the players are going to benefit from. The game is going to benefit from. All of our kids are going to benefit from. But what do you guys feel about kind of the next wave of how the media landscape now is kind of changing? And we're sitting here right now in the epicenter of our own media, right? Our own microphones,
I love
our
it.
own viewership. And so
I love it. Give the voice to the players, the product. We want to hear from them. Those old days of that reporter sitting there writing that stuff down and maybe switching your words up or whatever they do.
Your words all the way up.
You read it in the next morning like, bro, I didn't say that. And now you looking for that dude. You know what I'm saying? So I love the fact that we're empowering the players.
Yeah.
We're the product, we're the guys, so we want to hear directly from them.
And I think it's okay that these players have platforms during the season, because I don't think fans really understand what their day structure looked like, right? You only could be on the court 2 hours, 4 hours at max, especially flying, going in and out of town, all over the place. Recovery, 2 hours, weights an hour and a half, massage, ice tub. They're doing a 6-7 hour day. And when you see them on their podcast, people are criticizing them because they're doing an hour-long podcast on their time. Like when Draymond goes after a game and in his room and he's talking, I'm tuning in because it's fresh.
Yeah.
And he's talking about real information at a fresh time, and his perspectives are always good. And it's good to get that perspective because he get to tell his story.
Well, and also too, it's like sometimes when other people are controlling your narrative, sometimes it sounds very similar, right? They like to paint a good versus a bad guy. Like it's really only two ways that they paint you in the media. Now you're getting more guys getting their voice on more topics, and now you're seeing so many different ways to think about it and so many different ways into something. Like Draymond is going to give you a whole different take about something than you normally would have heard from their beat writer, who has a job to make sure that he get in that locker room. He ain't fucking up with the organization by writing the wrong things, right? Like you gotta understand, like some of this stuff was controlled for a long time by people who have other agendas as well. Now the player agenda is to make sure that you're hearing it right from the player's mouth. So I love the fact that we all have these platforms that we have where we have our own platforms to be able to talk, but I love the fact that now it's expanded. And I just signed with Amazon to be able to be a voice of the NBA as a part of an unbelievable group of, of some of the game's greats. And we talk about you want players to be coaches. You also want players talking on the game.
Talking about the game.
And hopefully not just certain voices, you want more voices. And now we get an opportunity with these networks to have more voices speaking on the game. And I think it becomes greater conversations more on our players and not just, the negative things about what they're not doing. And we able to talk a little bit more about the holistic part of the game of basketball.
No, I think it's the beautiful thing about it. It's funny because, like, to me, just watching how it just exploded. Like, you have, this is where the old head loves the new generation and the new flow of things going, like, where it's expanding, you're getting more options, more flavors. And so then you have, obviously, where it used to be before NBC, then it got to NBC and ESPN and TNT. Like, it was just what you saw. But now you have, obviously, NBC, you have ABC, ESPN, you have TNT, you have all these other options to have them. Having these options, now you have more faces and more voices to hear from, because it's one thing to just get the same 3, 4, 5 voices all the time for everything. And to get the fact that you get to hear it from you, Melo, UD, Blake Grip, all these guys, Dirk, all these guys that you know are superstars. You respect them when they talk on the show.
Yeah, you know they work.
You know you believe them.
Yeah, yeah.
Similar how you were
Verified.
saying, like what you were saying about the coaches, like even with where I get my information from. To me, that's why the podcasts and these networks and these networks on social have blown up so much because now you get to hear it from your mouths. And I think for me to see it on the network side too is beautiful. Like the fact that to watch you on, like when you was on his TNT, when you were on it before, I think it was so dope at the time because at the time you had the old guards, you had the Chuck, Kenny, and like those guys, and you had that the regular, and then you kind of came in and kind of sauced it up and put something different, and then you step back, but now to see now all these other faces, all these other names you hear, that part is where you want to watch. Now you want to watch more sports, you want to see all this stuff. So to me, it's great. It's great for the game.
We're excited about it, man. We're excited about the growth. All right, well, that's it for us today, man. D. Wright, Bob, Chris Johnson, I'm Dwyane. Thank you guys for taking the time out with us.